Let's talk about broker transparency and why it should not happen. Whether you want it to happen or not, it is absolutely un-American if it happens, and it could actually lead to a very slippery slope, and we will discuss what that is. We'll also talk about some complaints I've had about Landstar double brokering, other companies, Bennett, Mercer, companies like that, double brokering to people that are leased to them, and why it's not true. Alright guys, so people want broker transparency, and first let's discuss what they actually want. They want the broker to have to tell them how much they're making on the load that they are then brokering to them. So they want them to have to tell you that. So America is a capitalist society, and that is so anti-capitalism that it's not even funny. So okay, they should have to tell you how much they make on the load, and then you can negotiate from there. But that's not how they work. They're telling you what they're going to pay you for the load. And that's it. Now, you have the right to not take the load. You absolutely have the right to not take the load. Well, but they have all the freight. So go get the freight yourself. That's the way America works. That's the way capitalism works. It's a free trade society. Go get the freight yourself. Well, I don't have time for that. They already have it wrapped up. Or these people won't give me the freight. Well, then you got to lower your prices or offer them something that the broker isn't offering. But to say that the broker should have to tell you how much they're making is absolutely ludicrous. Let's flip this around a little bit. So when you go and you buy a hamburger or a cheeseburger at McDonald's, should they have to tell you how much money they have into it? Now, I know it's kind of reverse there in that you're actually the customer at McDonald's, whereas the broker is your customer. So you can go to the broker and say you are going to pay this much, just like McDonald's says you're going to pay that much, and the broker can say yes or no, but they don't have to tell you how much you're paying for, just like you don't have to tell them what your expenses are going to be on this. You know, now maybe they should make it a law that you, when you call a broker, you have to explain to them what your truck payment is. If you're a sole proprietor, what your house mortgage payment is, and maybe car payments, or and then discuss your credit card debt, and then they can come back and say how much they're making on the load, and they can discuss what their rent on their office is, or what their office supply is, or what their payroll is. And it's just absolutely stupid. They shouldn't have to tell you anything. You know, you lock into a contract. Well, it's also anti-American to rip off truck drivers. You're not getting ripped off. You sign a contract saying you're going to do it. And as long as you do your part and they do their part, you didn't get ripped off. Now, you can be ripped off where you go and maybe the weight's wrong on it, or something else gets held up, or something, this and that breaks the contract, but that's a broken contract. So being ripped off actually means it's a broken contract. If everything goes exactly as that contract says it's supposed to go, then you did not get ripped off. If the broker made $10,000 and you agreed to do the load for $1,000, well, you misnegotiated, you messed up in your business, but that's capitalism. Right, wrong, or indifferent, that's capitalism. And it would go down a slippery slope, because here is, if there isn't capitalism, here's what we could replace it with: socialism, communism, anarchism, nationalism, and degrowth. So if we start regulating, that's another thing. Owner-operators, the people who want not to be regulated. We need less regulation. We need less regulation. They want more regulation for the people that are their customer. You actually want your customer regulated. That's, I don't get that. I really don't get that. Do people think that they're the broker's customer? No, the broker is your customer. The next thing that people don't seem to understand about the trucking industry is the double brokering. I'm with Landstar, and so many people say, yeah, I don't like the way Landstar double brokers. Nope, not a thing. So again, now we're down to contracts. So I lease on the Landstar, and some people say, well, Landstar takes too big of a percentage. Okay, I can see that. I'm not going to argue that at all. I actually think the Landstar does take too big of a percentage. I like Landstar, and you know, it's a negotiating thing. You know, is hey, can I make money at this percentage? What's the upsides? What's the downfalls? But I signed a contract, and I get a percentage load. And you know, the truck gets a percentage, the trailer gets a percentage. There's a whole way that it works. But the contract, they say, oh, Landstar rips you off by taking that. No, they don't rip you off. They can't rip you off. If they're doing their part and you did your part, you drive the truck and you follow your part of the contract and they follow their part of the contract, then they didn't rip you off. You can't say that you got ripped off when you signed a contract agreeing to something that you're getting. I'm actually sitting in the yard here of A&H Trucking, A&H Truck, whatever they call it. My buddy Brett from Patriot Specialized in Heavy Haul works at. And so A&H is a really big trucking company that does not have authority. They don't have, I don't think they have any authority. I think their trucks are leased to a few different companies, most of them to Ace Dorn. The one right beside me is leased to Ace Dorn. So he goes in there, he doesn't have authority. He has a lot of equipment. He could go get customers on his own, but chooses to do it this way through a carrier. Chooses to do this through Ace Dorn. Goes in, signs a contract. As long as Ace Dorn gives him what they say they're going to give him, and he gives them what he says they're going to give him, then they're good. Now, if he did have authority, let's back up. So let's say he gets a broker load. Let's say Ace Dorn takes a load from a broker and then gives it to him. Okay, the broker took their percentage off of it, or whatever it was. The load was negotiated, and then he takes the load from there, from Ace Dorn. Now he gives a percentage to Ace Dorn. That's his contract on that he's pulling under their authority. So everything he pulls, he gives them a percentage of. The same way with me. If I take a load that C.H. Robinson gives to Landstar, and then Landstar gives it to me, it's in my contract that I know exactly how much Landstar makes a load, because that's in my contract. So, because I get paid a percentage of it. So, I don't have to know what C.H. Robinson makes on it. All I have to do is know what Landstar makes on it. All he has to do is know what Ace Dorn makes on it. That is not double brokering. That is, if you had your own authority and you took it from a broker, basically you're paying authority fees, and there's a whole lot of other benefits to it. I'm not saying right, wrong, or indifferent one way or the other. I like being leased to Landstar, but I see the benefits of being my own authority too. Now, if A&H here had his own authority and was running this truck under his own authority, and Ace Dorn took a load from C.H. Robinson and then brokered it to A&H, who is using his authority, that is double brokering, and that is illegal. The way Landstar does it, the way Ace Dorn does it, Ace Dorn is a Bennett company, the way Mercer does it, pretty much every company, that's the way it works. Now, you will say Landstar has a brokerage, so Landstar takes the load, brokers it to Landstar. Nope. I actually had a company once that was doing that. They owned their own brokerage, and they would broker it to the trucking company and then take it. I don't know if that's illegal or not. It should be. It's wrong. Yeah. Either way, it's just not right. But to say it's double brokered because they take a C.H. Robinson load or a whatever load and then give it to you, but still take their percentage, not double brokering at all. Not double broker at all. Basically, if you think of it this way, I pay Landstar an authority fee, an authority to operate, a permit fee, or whatever. They pay permits, they pay this, they pay that. So basically, that's my overall fee for that. If you're leased to a carrier and you don't like it, go get your own authority. You know, there's other ways, but don't call it double brokering. Please do not act like a businessman or act like you own a business because you're an owner-operator, but not actually know the right terms for these things. You know, double brokering, or, you know, I want that broker to have to be able to tell me what he made so that I know if he's ripping me off. Well, you can't get ripped off because you sign a contract that says it. As I said before, if they break the contract, then that's a rip-off or something. But, yeah. And I'm not connected to any brokers at all. In fact, I actually don't haul broker loads through Landstar. I haul everything direct. Everything I haul through Landstar, I want it to be a direct customer. And that is my choice. Everybody else has different choices too. There's choices in this world, but this whole thing of this transparency, it absolutely drives me nuts. And I haven't had anybody able to tell me anything else. If you can actually come to me logically, and that doesn't mean saying, oh, well, they rip truck drivers off. Okay. It's not illegal. It's illegal to break the contract. It's not illegal for them to make a lot of money. It's not illegal for them to pay you 1% while they keep 99% because you had the choice to do it. They didn't force you to do it. I do understand that there's some companies you can be owner-operators with. There's some forced dispatch stuff with. I don't understand. Again, that goes back to your contract. I've been in that situation, like I said before, and I got out of it, and now I do what I do. But, so these carriers are not double brokering, as they say. Maybe the percentage is too high. I'd like to see the percentage less, but I'll make it work. But it's just, some of this stuff is crazy. And this whole thing of wanting the government to regulate your customer while backing off regulations on you, simply so. You know, there was a lot of talk about socialism a couple elections ago, and quite frankly, I like the free trade capitalism, and yeah, certainly don't want the communism, the anarchism, nationalism, or degrowth. I don't even know what degrowth is, but the word just sounds horrible. So, hey guys, if you have a logical argument, not what you think is right, even though it's not the law. If you actually have a lawful argument as to why brokers should be transparent, let me know. And if you say I'm still wrong about the double brokering, let me know. You know, I could debate with anybody. I've been wrong before. There was that one time I was wrong. But yeah. Anyway, guys, comment, like, subscribe. I read all the comments. I don't get back to them right away, but I try to get back to them all. Again, I don't mind if you don't agree with me. I just love to hear why. And anyway, guys, that's about it. We'll cut that for today. I'm waiting for my buddy Brett to get here, and that might lead to some other video. But yeah, you can, if you don't want to comment, you can get a hold of me, email at finchresources@gmail.com. And you can also get me on Instagram sometimes. Facebook I do a lot on, under the Trucking Resources name. So thanks a lot, guys, and I'll catch you on the next one.